What's up, my friends? Welcome back. My name is Caleb Dennison, and this is the Hisense H8F, and it might be the best bang for your buck TV in 2019. We're gonna find out, but first, we gotta unbox and set this thing up. Here's everything that comes in the box, and you know, it ain't much. Here's some product literature that nobody's ever gonna look at. Got a power cable, some Everdura batteries. That must be the Chinese version of Bexel, eh, Rich? A remote, ooh, with some plastic I get to take off. Fancy. Interesting remote, looks like that's a voice remote. And then we've got some screws and two metal legs. And you know what? These actually feel good. They feel solid, so I'm encouraged by that. Okay, so we flipped the TV over to put the legs on. Don't worry, it's fine. And I'm excited to see that there are actually two different positions for the legs. So if we go with the inside position here, the extremities of the leg from tip to tip, it's about 31.5 inches, which is great for people with smaller stands. But we've got the space, so I'm gonna go with the wider placement, which puts it right at about 52 inches. And once we get those put into place, you know what happens next. Screwing the screws into the legs. The gratuitous back of the TV shot. It's pretty plain Jane. We got 4 VESA mounting holes, and then over on the far side, you'll find 4 HDMI inputs. They all do 4K at 60 Hertz, one of them ARC compatible, some legacy ports and a couple of USB ports, and that's pretty much it. So I'll be honest, for a TV this inexpensive, I wasn't expecting much in the looks department. But this is a sharp looking TV. I mean, these bezels are nearly non-existent on the top and the sides anyway. Down bottom, there is a little bit of a strip, but it's a nice gunmetal gray. I mean, this TV looks totally decent. We got some plastic to remove here, and then I'm excited to turn this thing on and see what it can do. So we're just about set up, about ready to turn this thing on, and curious thing, this TV is leaning back by a fair amount too, and I think that's by design because we definitely have a level stand here. So I'm interested to see what that might do to the picture quality. Now, Hisense does make a Roku powered TV. They also have their own operating system. This is an Android TV. So if you buy into the H8F, which is the best Hisense TV you can buy in the US right now, they don't sell the H9 here. This is what you're gonna get, Android, which is a good thing because I haven't had the best experience with Hisense's own interface. Now, since it's an Android TV, you can set it up with a Google app on iOS or Android. I suggest doing so because it makes the process go a little bit faster, although you're still gonna have to click through a bunch of stuff here. But when you do it that way, it shares your Google information with the TV, so you're already gonna be logged into YouTube, for instance. There's an opportunity here to tell it not to install a few apps. So I'm going to deselect a couple of these, and then we should be watching TV soon. Now we're up and running, and the first thing I want to do is go into the settings, and man, I can't help but notice the backlight action on this. We'll save that for the performance. By the way, if you want to know what this TV performs like, if that's your priority, we're coming out with a review video on this soon. So subscribe to Digital Trends, make sure you get that. All right, in default mode, the picture mode is set to auto. This means that it's actually going to pick based on your surroundings and also the content you're watching. I don't want that. I'm gonna select Theater Day because we're in a fairly bright room here. And I wanna pop into advanced settings, make sure there's nothing funky going on there. I will turn off overscan, double check that there's no motion enhancement. And it's on film now. I'll check that out later. For now, I'm gonna turn it off. And then motion clearness is off, which is good. No soap opera effect there. And I'll leave noise reduction at medium for now. Normally that's something I will turn off for a full review. And then active contrast, I'm gonna set that at medium and see what it does. HDMI dynamic range is set to auto, which is good. That means it'll change to HDR based on the signal it sees. And that's really about all I want to do just to get started. Obviously, our review video will have some more detailed suggestions for the picture preset, but I think that's the best place to start. A quick word about Android TV. Those of you who watch my TV review videos probably know what I'm about to say. Those of you who don't, here's the deal with Android TV. It is a resource-intensive operating system, and it took the wizards at Sony developing a chip that could handle it for it to run decently, which we just experienced, by the way. This TV does not have that kind of horsepower, so unfortunately, Android TV is a little bit laggy. You press a button, It doesn't go anywhere for a second sometimes. If you try to move around very quickly, it'll slow down on you. It's not the end of the world, it's just not the slickest experience. And if it really bothers you, there's other great options out there, like Roku, Fire TV. You can get something like that. Apple TV even. In general though, I'm glad that it has Android TV as opposed to something else. It really classes up the interface, and I think that people will enjoy interfacing with this TV. Again, I think it looks really good. From an aesthetic perspective, things are turning out pretty nicely. Considering the 50-inch version of this TV is only $400, the 55 is $500, and the 65 is $700, which is pretty cheap for a 65-inch TV. I think this has all the makings of one of the best values in TV if the picture performance can keep up, which we'll address in our review video coming very soon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please leave me a comment down below about what you want to see in the review video. We want to cover all the bases for you. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when we're coming out with another one of these great videos. Here's a couple more we think you might like. And as always, visit digitaltrends.com for the latest tech news and reviews.